Hi guys, welcome back. This is Maddie. Today I'm posting this video a little bit different from what I used to. It is not a step-by-step video, however, I just posted a step-by-step video on how to make tiny stars. And this video is more like a follow-up of that pattern. I mentioned in that video that I was very glad with the result of the stars, and I think they looked really cute, like they fit on in the palm of my hand, and it made me a bit nostalgic as well because it reminded me of a star toy I used to have growing up, and that star toy was a cartoon character from a movie and a comics stories from Turma da Mônica, which here in the United States you might know as Monica and Friends, or The Adventures of Monica and Friends. It's being released as manga looking kind of magazine. Although I think it might be probably more famous because of the manga in which the characters are a bit grown up, like during their teenage years, and they go through all those teenage problems, hormones, and like love interests and things like that. But anyway, coming back to the store, the toy used to be made out of plastic, and it had a little smiley face. It was called Estrela Perdida, which means the lost little star. And once we held it on our hands, it would light up and play a little sound. Um, anyway, just by the look of the star and the fact it fits in the palm of my hand, it kind of took me back to when I was maybe 8 years old. And I just redid the same pattern that I'm gonna link up at the bottom of this video. I'm not sure if am able to link to the actual video, but you can go back to my channel as well and check that out. And I just worked on the same pattern, but instead of using a medium weight yarn, I decided to use a chenille yarn. And this yarn I'm using, it's actually a yarn I got from Dollar Tree, the Just Chenille yarn. And I'm using a 6mm hook, but I followed the pattern the same way. And it gave me a bigger and softer star. And now I am attaching a little face with a gray medium weight yarn. I'm sewing the smile and a couple of eyes to make it very friendly. Now, because I'm using a thicker yarn and a bigger hook, a bigger size hook, the stitches will be also bigger. And the points of the stars are made out of double crochet and triple crochet stitches, which are like longer stitches. And I plan on filling up with fiber fill, but I do not want that filling to start coming out through those big stitches. So what I'm gonna do is, before I sew the stars together, I am going to sew like just like the circle part of the work together, and I'm using this medium weight yarn to do so. I am not using the chenille yarn to sew it. The reason being, it usually snaps, you know, when you try to sew, if it finds something hard on the way, you know, if I don't have the stitch on the right place as I'm sewing, that little chenille, it's gonna start peeling, or even the thread itself can snap. So as I mentioned, I'm gonna just start sewing the star together around the circle area first with a similar yellow yarn, and when I get closer to the end of finishing that up, I will fill it up with the stuffing. I could also have used safety eyes for the eyes, but I usually don't like using it on amigurumis. There are gonna be around smaller kids, and since I have a little guy in the house, I don't feel very safe in having that. And since as well this work uses a thicker yarn, and I'm afraid of the safety eyes coming out eventually. So I always try to make a little face with a yarn instead of attaching safety eyes. I prefer to use safety eyes on amigurumis there I make with a smaller thread and the work is tighter on the stitches, and I think it's also better looking on this sort of things. By no means my face is perfect, but I think it looks cute enough for what it is. It will be just a little star to be around the house. Now I'm just giving a little knot with the tail of the sewing thread, and from here I'm gonna start sewing the edges of the star. I'm still using the same yarn. I just gotta make sure that I use my needle in a way that goes through both stitches, like from both items. So even if it means like going one at a time, you just need to be sure that everything is sewed on. So this tail yarn keeps popping out. I'm pulling it back in inside my star, and I'm gonna snip the excess yarn off. So it's like a trial and error thing. I am figuring stuff out as I go with this one, since it's my first yarn with the chenille yarn. I'm gonna speed this part up a bit. Another way of making this star a bit bigger is instead of using Chanel yarn or some other bulk size yarn, you could use 2 threads of a worsted weight yarn as well with a 6mm hook. It won't be as soft as using some of those baby soft yarns, but it will still look cute and it will be sturdy enough. So here it is, the finished star. I'm just getting this needle and pulling some of those face features out because some of the yarn tends to go in. Probably happened when I put stuff in it and without the sewing moving around. So you just make the adjustments you need. Although it looks like on the right side, right there of the mouth, I probably sewed it a bit too loose. But here it is, nice and fluffy, a bit bigger than the other one. I think it's super cute. I'm gonna bring you the other one so you can see the difference in size. This other bright yellow one, I used a medium worsted yarn, but the whole process is the same, and that's the one I show you how to make on the step-by-step video. So thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed the crochet talk. I really enjoy sharing a bit of my process and my thoughts on making this item. Thank you for being here. Subscribe to the channel and leave a comment down below.